Let me show you how the resizing of annotations in Camtasia works, particularly when you have trouble grabbing the handles because they're quite small. And you see on my screen here, I have an annotation on the screen. I can grab it and move it around. And you can notice that it has several handles. Let me explain what these handles do. The corner ones allow you to resize it from the corner. The middle ones, you have two, one at the top and the bottom, and then left and right side lets you just resize horizontally. Then the middle one is this one here. This is the rotation handle. It's not really a handle, it's more like the rotation center, and you can move it. And the handle for the rotation is here. You see this one. If actually this annotation is white, but if I change the color to something else, you will notice that now this middle, the rotation center of the object has a connection to this handle because this is the rotation handle. So if I grab this one, you will see it becomes green when you put your mouse over it. You can rotate that object around that center of rotation. Now, when you resize something, if you're trying to make it too small, you're going to have problems grabbing the handles after. So you can see now, if I grab this one, this handle here, and I go very narrow, the first problem that I have very often is this. I will move this handle so that it almost overlaps with the rotation handle. So now you can see here, I'm having trouble accessing the rotation handle because it's on top of the scaling handle. So if I want to scale now, I can't because I will hit the rotation handle. The rotation handle is on top. So one solution for this is to zoom in. If you have a mouse in Camtasia, you can use the mouse wheel. So you can use that and zoom in. And as you zoom in, you will notice that the handles remain the same size. So they become distinct now. See, like this. And another thing you can do is just move the center of rotation. You can do this by holding down the Control key and you grab it. On Windows, I think it's Control. On the Mac, it's Command. And you notice when I press Command, the center of rotation handle changes. So if I grab it and hold it down, I can now take my mouse and grab the center of rotation and move it somewhere else. Let's say at the bottom, right there. And now the object, when I choose this rotation handle, is going to rotate against or around that area. Look at this, around that point. It's like making a door with a hinge, right? So if you need to rotate something precisely around a specific point, you move the center of rotation. And this actually works with animations too. So if you add an animation to this object and you rotate it, the animation will respect the center of rotation. Now, because we were talking about small handles that you cannot grab, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right back in the middle. And let me show you a problem. When you make an object too small, you can grab this and go small, small like this. You may want to have a very thin annotation, for example, which is like this. So if you look now, I'm having trouble actually grabbing the resize handles from the sides because they're just smooshed together and they are behind the center of rotation thing. I can grab the whole object and move it, but I cannot reach that resize handle. One solution is to, of course, zoom in very, very closely. You see, I'm zooming in here very, very closely, and I can see now that the two handles become distinct and I can grab and move them, right? But let's say that this is so small that in fact you may have trouble, and you may have other objects on this right there. Look on the canvas. I may have so many objects that I can't even grab the object itself. I mean, I can select it like this. So one solution when things become very difficult to grab or handle is to go to the properties. So look at this. I have my annotation selected, and on the sidebar here on the right hand side, you have the properties panel. If you switch to the video clip properties, you have a bunch of properties here, scale, opacity, and so on, rotation even. But one of them is here, the size. So you've got the size and you've got the width and the height. So if things become super difficult to grab and move, you can always use these handles here, these numbers, to set a new size. So for example, I'm going to click these arrows next to the box, and you can see that the object becomes larger, you see? And I'm moving the width, right? So if I click a few times, you can see how the object has become wider. And now I can grab the handle and move it. If you want to move objects, resize it proportionally, you can click this lock icon, and now the two dimensions are locked, meaning if I change one, the other one will change proportionally. Now, if you're just trying to make the width wider, you can click these arrow things next to the box, the text box, and they will increase the width or the height. If if you click the height, you can see how the object gets smaller or larger. Another thing, okay, you don't need to use these arrows if they're too small. You can just simply select the text in the box and type a value, let's say 100, and press enter. And now that's going to automatically make the object 100 pixels wide. That's pixels right there. Now, another solution that I like to use is put my mouse in the box, and then I use the arrow keys to change the values up or down. And it goes up and down by one value, 1 pixel, I guess. But if you hold down the shift key while you press, it goes up and down by 10 pixels. So you can quickly use the arrow keys on the keyboard to go up and down and resize the objects without ever touching the handles, right? And the same for rotation here. These controls will allow you to rotate the object around the 3D axes, right? So let's look at this one here. I'm going to leave the rotation handle in the center of the object, and it's very easy. You can actually grab this wheel. It has got like a jog wheel there for the rotation, and if you click on this wheel next to the value, of course you can still do the numbers like we do. So if I grab this wheel and I move the mouse in both directions, you see how the object is rotating. If you want to do just like a random, and if you keep going, it'll spin and spin and spin and spin. It'll just go around the axes like this. If you do the, let me just reset this by clicking this little reset arrow, click, and it goes back to the value that it had initially, which is 0. And now let's say that I want to rotate against the Y axis. That would be like a 3D rotation. Look at this. The object suddenly has perspective, and I'm rotating it around the vertical axis. And finally, the X value is going to rotate it like around the horizontal axis, up or down. So with this kind of rotation, you can almost make the object seem 3D. Right? So I do this all the time when I try to create a 3D effect. If you have a look at my YouTube channel, there's that video with the spinning logo with the light beam over it and rotating in 3D. That was done with this particular handle here with the rotation. Pretty much, that's it. So there you go. These are the 3 rotation handles. These are the size and the positioning. Again, here with the position. Again, if I want to move the object horizontally, I will go to the X and hold down the shift key and put the arrow up or down, and I'm moving the object like this, even without touching the rotation handles. So I hope this helps.